What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I'm going to start today's Market Watch off with something a little cheesy, and that's to invest in yourself. For the first time in over 10 years, I walked into a shirt store and was not salty that their largest size happened to be an XL. I was pushing a 3X just 6 months ago, and all that hard work has paid off because Sonic & Knuckles 3 is legitimately my favorite game. Well, okay, Mega Man 8's my favorite game, but I've played more hours than Sonic & Knuckles 3 than any other game, closely followed by Pokemon. That being said, after this old man has told you how to live your life, don't be content, be happy, chase your dreams. Let's get into today's Market Watch, starting with Chaos Dragon Levianeer. He is sitting at $37 right now and was at a low of around $47 to $52 just the other day and has already fallen down towards $33, $34 on eBay. Why is it falling so fast? A meta card. Oh, right. The Megatins are right around the corner. August 29th is the OTS launch date, and August 30th is the full retail launch date. You know what that means? This is earlier than ever, and there's only like one set of regionals before these are actually out there for us. This is pretty crazy that it's in our hands so early. The big question is if Konami will consider the Prismatic Secret Rare a different rarity than regular Secret Rare. Will we be getting Secret Rare upgrades, so to speak, or will everything be lower rarity? If so, this version of Levianeer could be considered the highest rarity if it cannot come in Prismatic. But at the same time, I think it's only up there because it's a pretty hard to get secret rare. With the 10s, there's a huge fallout of quantities on market with vendors trying to get their values back out of the 10s. This could be a pretty sought after card, but at the same time, I think it would tank in price even if it's a super or ultra or whatever it lands at. People may still want the secret rares. That could help create a demand, and I'm really glad Konami did go with changing up rarities for all of the foil cards this year. We'll have to wait to see the full results for that, though. Now, Big Brain 500 IQ play, this could be missing from the Megatons. I initially did feel kind of a hunch like that, like, this could maybe be missing, but Konami's been so on the ball in 2019, actually looking at the metagame and what they're doing, that I don't think they'll miss this. But if you're doing buyouts on TCG Player, use my link down below, whether they're good or bad. You support me and the channel directly by doing so, costing you nothing extra at all, and the more you guys do help me out, the bigger the giveaways are gonna get on the channel. True Kings of All Calamities. I don't always suggest cards on Market Watch, but this one's alarming to me in the fact that, hey, it's over here at only $1 whenever shopping a ton of these top-rated sellers. If you put this in your cart, your orders are over 5, shipping is eliminated. So it's a lot cheaper than eBay because these are already at like $230, $250, and quickly going up on eBay. An amazing generic rank 9. You have World Legacy Monstrosity as a card out right now, a future archetype really supporting level 9 rank 9s, and then God Gearfried also happens to be a level 9 coming out in that structure deck. So without any secondary printings of True Kings of All Calamities, it's been out there for quite some time. It's a really amazing card. You have the True King Dinos too. I think you should just have your copy of this, and you only have yourself to blame if you don't have this for around $1 to $2. This card's amazing. Don't not have this card and end up, oh man, it's so much now. I couldn't see it really pressing ahead of 10. I talked about this on my Patreon, actually. I do talk about cards a little bit early to bounce them off, but they always will appear in Market Watch later after I bounce them off the heads of the Patreons. That being said, another thing about God Gearfried is the Noble Knights, and for the first time ever, scrolling through here, there were no Noble Knight buyouts with a Noble Knight hype. There's been like 50 Noble Knight buyouts throughout history, and I think you guys finally learned within the market that if it's appealing and it looks like Noble Knights are gonna be good, not to get them. Another suggestion here would actually be the Cursed Bamboo Sword Engine. This was a low of $6 not too long ago, and I think Pot of Extravagance replaced it as a draw card in many different rogue decks, because Foolish Burial Goods can end up bricking a little more. It's usually not the Cursed Sword engine that bricks, but rather, you know, you draw extra quantities of that Foolish Burial Goods you can't use in the same turn. But with God Gearfried, Foolish Burial Goods not only puts this in the graveyard and gives you extra pieces, like if you draw Broken Bamboo Sword, then you have Golden, or vice versa, searching it off the curse. Like, you get extra draw cards that are more likely to get into God Gearfried as well. So I think this is a great way to play that engine, because all God Gearfried needs is this in graveyard to banish in the first place, and itself replacing when you do so. That also being said, Broken Bamboo Sword was expensive forever for no good reason other than that engine, and it only has its second printing in OTS Pack 8, rather than where Golden Bamboo Sword actually got its printing in Shadows and Valhalla. So I could see these supers going out for max rarity deck in the future if it does meld well with God Gearfried. So all these quantities, super cheap. Maybe it's time to think about adding those to your cart too, although you only really need one of this with the engine, so you know, maybe just something to toss onto in order to have max rarity. I have some news for you guys. Maybe I should have started Market Watch out with this, but thanks for sticking around and actually listening through instead of skipping. Yesterday, I announced that it turns out there are no short prints, period, within the set other than the new rarity. Now, I have information on top of that. So if you missed that announcement from yesterday's video, yay! No short printed secrets, 3 Apollosa average per case. These are actually easier to get than we first thought. Konami had said that they were 50 times harder to get than a secret, leading us to believe 1 in every 25-ish boxes. I'm being told, not only from my Europe contacts, but from my USA contacts over at trollandtoad.com, that they're pulling them in about 1 in every 18 boxes. That is a case and a half, meaning instead of 8 cases to pull all 4 theoretically, that it would be around 6 cases to pull 4 Prismatic secret rares. That means the quantities are up from what we initially thought, and there were early panic buyouts / investments. I do think it would be wise to wait and see the fallout. Also, demand will tell. Like, will people still keep grabbing these as the quantities rush out from opening weekend? We're not even there yet. But knowing that these are a little bit easier to get than initially announced, I'm a big fan of that. And, you know, realistically, so let's talk about it. 6 cases, and you're getting all 4 of these? Like, well, the 4th one's not up here. If you're truly getting $200, $200, and $500, that's the price of a case and a half back. I get Rising Rampage isn't the best case, but then within those cases, you would also theoretically have 6 times 3, 18 copies of regular Apollosa. So the money would really be there to shred open the sealed product if these cases hold and actually make sales. That being said, I think quantity versus demand, because of that, prices will probably go down. But there is another twist to this story. Tier 0 put up their Apollosas at $63, and with my code, that's just under 60. What's good 5 on their site. So the demand, despite knowing that these weren't short printed, they put them back up on the site, and I did the video, these were in stock at this price, have disappeared. So the demand for Apollosa as a one of in the extra deck might still be above the price point, even without it being short printed in the set. It's very interesting, and we're going to continue to watch Rising Rampage because this is the first time this rarity's been introduced. But hopefully, knowing these numbers from multiple sources, and both EU and USA, gives some clarity. It's very exciting to know that information. I wanted to go back through Legendary Duelist Ancient Millennium because there's kind of a ridiculous buyout, and it is Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. It was short printed within this set, and by the way, I don't expect short prints to end in side sets, period. They've always had those. I'm just happy as long as it's not the Secret Forces bad, because they do need to sell these side sets to help out OTS stores. This one's a little ridiculous, though. $30. The Ancient Gear Fusion, this is not, which is still a rogue card. But I'm just shocked Millennium Eyes Restrict, as the only meta card out of the set, never really took over. Instant Fusion targets always find their way into the metagame, helps counter hand traps, and it's kind of head-scratching to see what people go for instead of it. That's just my opinion on that one, though. Cynet mining. Actually, if you have any idea why this was bought out, what ridiculous strategy is going for it, let me know. Cynet mining is actually trickling down right now, and I think it's just a combination of solid players maybe giving up, going towards a new deck, heading towards something new, Marincess not being as hyped out the gate as it was, and people not being aware of the legacy of the Duelist promos being as amazing as they are. So, the lower this goes, the cheaper it gets, and of course, this was actually a little overprinted for ratio in the set because Dark Neostorm did have short printing. We see it at $32 over on eBay as well, so you can kind of watch and kind of wait on its price, maybe find an optimal time to pick it up. Servant of Endymion. Really, a buyout out of a newer structure deck. Well, I don't think this one will last. We see quickly people relisting cheaper, and those are getting bought as people, you know, who slept on Pendulums. Pendulums are expected to be one of the best decks of this format. However, I'm really thinking that, like, this is more bought out for its genericness of being able to bring out cards with, you know, that would want a spell counter besides just her boss monster. So I don't know. I guess you also play 3 of them. I think it's Droll Unlocks in the structure. Just go find the structure deck now instead of paying, you know, $8 for both of these. You might even have your OTS, you know, hook you up $20 for 3 of them because they'd still be making money if they're on their shelves. You never know. Or you could go ahead and get one of those Lost Art promos. But again, I think this card will continue to drop. You'll continue to see listings like this. Just pick and choose your time if you're panicking over it. Looking through Battles of Legend, Hero's Revenge. It's just a little shocking at how Blackluster Soldier has really stayed up around that $30 mark, I think. But at the same time, you have so many options for those high-end Link 3s and 4s, and this is one of the best Link 3s is what really sets it aside. Almirage falling down really hard. Lambda kind of bouncing around between that 5 to 10 price point. It's really weird. I thought this card would be a lot more hyped coming out, but Battles of Legend does get very opened, I suppose. And then Vision Hero Increase has, once again, decreased. I really wanted to just open this tab to make that pun smile. Looking through the Sangan buyout, I just want to kind of make a note. I think Retro Pack 1 is actually the highest rarity despite Ultras and Secrets around, but people really went after the Turbo Pack, and this is why I always show both. Oh, look, English, near mint. $44. You're going to see a lot of people really willing to sell this much cheaper on other platforms, and the Fallout will not have many sales from it. There's plenty of versions of Sangans, and people aren't going to specifically chase after one highest rarity version. What's truly rare is what's not available easily. Not a single near mint version of the Retro Pack 1 Sangan on eBay. I have not actually clicked this one, so this is kind of a live reaction to see what's available. Do we have a near mint? Only in German, and they're charging $55. So I think the Retro Pack 1 is highest rarity and harder to get overall in terms of its scarcity. And I think you'll see low sales on Sangan in general. It's more for rogue decks, and a lot of people will be happy with other holographic versions. I also forgot this card game existed, and that I have a box of it somewhere in the house. That being said, thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. What did you think of the suggestions? What did you think of the set news included within this Market Watch for those who watch through the middle? Let me know in the comment section down below, and thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support directly, there is the Patreon. I'll be keeping up with it more often from now on, and thank you so much for using the TCG player link in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we've stumbled through the end here. I did try to keep this faster paced too because there were a lot of tabs. You guys seem to enjoy that.